welcome back. This is going to be a review of Queen Sugar, Season 2, Episode 4. So the episode actually starts out, Charlie is looking for somewhere to stay. You know, last week she moved out with Micah and out of Aunt Vi's house because they wanted to give Hollywood and Aunt Vi some privacy. So Charlie is looking at all these condos and expensive places to live. And I'm from the South, and New Orleans is actually a pretty has a pretty high cost of living. So the places that she's looking at renting, nonetheless, are really not out of her means, but it's not staying true to what she's trying to invoke on the farmers. She wants them to commit to local milling. However, you're staying on the Upper East Side of wherever of St. Joe. You know, you gotta. And Remy's trying to tell her that, you know, it's probably best that you stay close to the mill so you can keep your hands on the mill, you can keep your ear to the ground and see what these farmers are talking about. But she ain't trying to hear that. She's trying to live extravagant and let it be known that she worked hard for what she wants. So, we change over to Ralph Angel, and he actually got his loan money in the mail. Red Lobster, here we come. No, but no, real talk. So he got his loan money to start planting his soybean seeds, so he can start, you know, diversifying the farmland and grow Blue's Corner, so that they can really start making a good profit off the land. So, you know that old saying goes, every time you try to do good, evil is always present. I mean, no sooner than that money come in, he's telling the farmer about it, and they go outside to the cane, and they notice the cane ain't looking right. They look at the cane, and white flies are surrounding the cane. The cane is so sweet, it's already attracting bugs. So Ralph Angel and the farmer, they call Charlie, and they're like, we got to handle this. He's like, we can use insecticide to get rid of that, but if we go through this this business that actually does this professionally, it's gonna be more expensive. And Charlie's like, how much expensive? And they're like, $5,000. And you know, Ralph Angel's like, well, you know, I got my loan money in. And Charlie actually surprised, she's like, no, I'll take care of it. Let's just get it done. So they go ahead and get they have a plane actually, and it's going through the acres of the farm and spreading the insecticide to kill the white flies. So in the meantime, between time, we go to Nova. Nova's actually at the newspaper, and she's talking to the editor, and he's like, I really enjoy your writing. It's just that you don't have a balance in your writing. You're always writing about the issues and not the problems. And I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't she write about her sister and her family owning this mill and this farm? That's big news. That's progress in the black community. No one black in St. Joe has ever done something like this. So but instead of just only writing about the sad stories, let's write about affluent African-American people that are building businesses, bringing jobs to the community. And I hope Nova, you know, interprets that rather than gets offended that her writing is not adequate. He just wants her to branch out and diversify her writing ability. So she's struggling with that the whole episode. And I kind of understand where Nova's coming from, because it's kind of touchy to take feedback and apply it effectively. Sometimes we as people, we take feedback and we like to internalize it and make it negative, when we can take it and flip it and make it something positive and make it something that's going to grow us as a person and increase our character. So we'll see where the director Ava is going with that. So Hollywood is with them Vi. He's in the kitchen and he's fixing the garbage disposal, and he's like, all right, I'm done. What's next on my honey-do list? And Vi's like, well, nothing. You've been here for 2 weeks and you done fixed everything. She said, normally you're out, 3 or 4 weeks at a time. A list adds up, but since you're here every day, everything's done. So he's like, what am I supposed to do? Vi gonna say, well, this is what you do. You go take your rump, you go sit it down in the chair, here's a remote, and you turn on TV. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. How about we go down to the unemployment office and get you a job and you can start bringing in some money. But later in the episode, we find out that Hollywood had actually been on the rig for 20 years, so he's probably set up pretty well in his bank accounts and his annuities and his savings and 401k. So in actuality, he probably doesn't even need to work. And I didn't realize that before, because I know Vi is mature, but I don't think Hollywood is over 45. He comes off in his early 40s to me. Put it down in the comments if they've ever discussed how old he is. Because I know black don't crack, but he doesn't look like he's old enough to sit down and retire. Needless to say, he takes Vi's advice. So we go to the diner, and Vi, she's, you know, running her business. She's managing that restaurant. Where the eggs at? She the Roberta comes up to her. Ooh, the women's bathroom is nasty. And Vi looked at her. Here's the storage key. Go clean it. Make me proud. And she looked at her. She said, "What you waiting on?" So she's doing her thing, and a lady comes in from that she knows around the way, I'm assuming, and then she needs some pies made, and Hollywood comes in at the same time. And, you know, Vi's like, "Listen, I don't have time to sit up here and entertain you, Hollywood. I got to work now." And she's like, "Are you bored already?" He's like, "Yeah, I am." So Hollywood hears Vi and the lady talking about making pies. So Hollywood volunteers to make the pies. So we'll come back to that here in a minute. So we go back to the mill, and the insecticides have been sprayed on the crop, and the farmer is telling Rap Angel, "Okay, now we got to scrub all this white stuff, because when the flies came, they left a residue on the cane, and if you don't take care of it, the cane is not going to mature correctly." So they tell Charlie's there and Nova's there, and they're like, "Well, we got to get down and do it ourselves." And she's like, "Well, what do we do to get this this residue off?" He said, "Elbow grease." She's like, "We got to scrub this ourselves?" And Ralph Angel made a shady comment, telling us, "Don't worry, us field slaves will handle it." I was like, wow. And you know, Ralph Angel, he's really feeling himself. I'm gonna tell you why. So you remember last season that he found the letter from his father saying that the farm is left to him entirely. So he's been trying to hold that over Charlie's head. He hasn't told his sisters, but he just, like I said in my first video, he's just waiting to hit domino and say, "Hey, here's the letter. You can quit treating me the way you treat me and give me the autonomy that I deserve." So he was there. They got everyone together to come clean the cane. There we go. To clean the cane. It's Nova, Charlie, the farmers. Blue's even helping out. He even called Blue's mother to come, who actually ditched work, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute, to come help and clean the farm. So while he's cleaning, Vi shows up. She's like, "You've been working all day, sweetheart. Go in there and get you a piece of pie." And, you know, he's just mad, and I'm Ralph Angel. He's just mad, and I'll eat when we're stopped working. She's like, "Well, how much work you got to do?" "About 3 hours worth," in front of Charlie, you know, disregarding her and making her feel inadequate. And Vi picked up on that. She's like, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" Man, you know, he tells her, he's like, "Man, I'm just tired of Charlie treating me the way that she does. You know, this is my farm." And she goes, "Well, this is you and your sister's farm as much as yours." He said, "No, not really." He shows her the note that his dad left him. And Vi's like, "Man, this is not good. This is going to be detrimental to you and your sister's relationship." And he's like, "Well, what do you think I should do?" And she's like, "I think, you know, you always do what you want to do, but I would thoroughly consider working it out with your sisters before telling them that you have sole ownership of this farm." So he put the letter back in, and, you know, we went to the next scene. So we see Ralph Angel's wife, or girlfriend rather, and Blue's mother. She's trying to ask her boss that, hey, there's an emergency with her boyfriend and she needs to take off. She'll get someone to cover. And her boss was like, "No, you finish your shift." So she decides to leave anyway and shows up and helps people clean the cane. So in the meantime, Micah and Charlie actually moved in with Ralph Angel, and they're living in close quarters. And, you know, Michael, who was arrested, he's not understanding how to deal with his anger, okay? So Blue is up there playing with that baby doll. That baby doll causes more trouble. She puts me in the mind of a Cynthia doll. You know, she's a character all her own. But he's up there playing, and Michael's trying to do his homework, and Michael loses his temper and hits Blue. When I tell you, Ralph Angel held Micah up so quick, he said, "Don't you ever put your hands on my boy again, ever." And Charlie was there, and she went to go tend to Blue, and then she saw what Ralph Angel was doing to Micah. She said, "Hold on, back up off my son." And they all went their separate ways, and Charlie's just looking flabbergasted, like, what am I gonna do? Because she doesn't know how to deal with Michael. Michael's at that age where he needs a man to tell him what's going on and with his body. He's going through hormone imbalances. You know, he just went through a traumatic event. So later in the episode, we see Micah in a room, and Ralph Angel comes in to talk to him. He's like, "Hey, listen, if you ever need someone to talk to, you just, you know, you can reach out to me, because being on the outside, we are trained, being on the inside, we are trained to be animals. It's almost expected. But being on the outside, we're human. We're expected to act human. So you don't have to lash out the way that you do. There's a way that you can handle things." And Michael goes, "Well, I'm sorry for hitting Blue." And he's like, "Tell him." And he's like, "I'm sorry for doing what I did to you." So it was so nice to see that black man on black man communication. I didn't see that in my household. You don't see that on TV. You know, it's just good that this show shows characters of African Americans that we don't see. We always see us fighting and arguing and not communicating. And, you know, it's just nice to see us communicating and being affluent and business savvy. And that's what I really love about this show, that we don't have to be a victim of our circumstances. There is another alternative. So, that following that night, there's a knock at the door, and it's the police officers telling Ralph Angel he done violated his parole. I was like, "Oh, Lord, what done happened?" So they look in and kind of find out. And this is a problem. Kind of find out. The men that were there robbing the cane, the other black farmers that were robbing the cane, went and told the Landrys and the Boudreaux that Ralph Angel shot off a shotgun. And you know, he's a felon, so he can't have any guns in the house. And so you mean to tell me you not only went and stole from a black farm, you done went and sold Ralph Angel up the creek. And they're looking around, and Charlie just happened to be there. And Michael saw the cops. He ran. He said, "You know, I'm not going back." He said, "You're not finna take me back." And so one thing that I did notice, and Charlie needed to be checked on this, is when Davis came into the police station to pick up Michael, when he got arrested, she reprimanded him, talking about, "Why are you in here shucking and driving," or however they say that, shucking and driving for these white people, and when your son needs you. And she did the same thing to get Ralph Angel out of that situation with him going back to parole. She stood up there and lied and said she shot the shotgun. "Oh, I didn't know. Oh, it's my father's gun, and I bought it here when, you know, we moved in. I just wasn't thinking, officer." Now, what do you call that? Using what you got to get what you want. Okay. So last what we see is they finally found a place to live. It's actually the loft space that they have inside of the mill. Charlie and Micah moving in, and people, everybody, Ralph Angel goes, "Hey, how long do y'all think it's gonna take before Charlie is ready to give up and go somewhere else?" And they're like, 2 days, 3 hours, and she's like, "Y'all need to chill with all that, because everybody knows she'll be out here by the end of the week." And they all fell out laughing. But so since Charlie came to Ralph Angel's defense and saved him from going back to jail from parole, and Ralph Angel talked to Michael, their relationship is getting stronger. And I think that's the glue, that's the foundation to making this meal successful. As long as they were at odds, everything was going wrong. When they come together, that's when they can be successful and operate as a strong unit. And that's a common thing in the black community, period. As long as we are divided and mad at each other, nothing gets accomplished. When we come together as a unit, as one united race, it's unimaginable the things that we can accomplish. So Charlie's not as sedity as who you like. Nova needs to learn how to take feedback, and Ralph Angel is starting to feel part of the business. That's my review for Queen Sugar. I'm Miss Moffat. I'm sitting on topics, ready to spill the tea, tell the gossip. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for another episode review of Queen Sugar. See ya!